Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for having this hearing. The first step to making health care more affordable is knowing how much things cost. No industry in America is as opaque as the health care system. It is ridiculous that Americans are in the dark about cost of life-altering medical procedures, and I'm extremely disappointed that my colleagues on the other side have turned this into a partisan issue. The price transparency rules put in place by the Trump administration was a good start, requiring hospitals to post prices on their websites. But unfortunately, most hospitals continue to make these tools hard to find and hard to navigate. There is no reason for hospitals to hide this information from patients. Hospitals are capable of providing helpful price transparency tools. I've seen it in several facilities across my home state of Oklahoma. The lack of price transparency is driving the trillions in spending on the health care in this country. We cannot expect Americans to get the best bang for their buck if they're unable to see the price of services that they're using. Now I want to take some time to clear up some misconceptions that I've heard today. As we all know, over 180 million Americans have private or employer-sponsored coverage. That's more than half of the country. It is critical this committee strengthens these health care benefits not only for the individuals using it, but to alleviate the strain on government programs like Medicare and Medicaid. These programs are ballooning in size, and the people who actually need them are suffering the most. That is the most ironic thing about the Democrats' colleagues today turning into a partisan hearing. Establishing price transparency rules and strengthening the employer market helps the sick, the vulnerable, and the needy. That's why I know this comes down to one fundamental difference between the two parties. We've said it often. Conservatives believe in the consumers and that they can do best with what money they have, not the federal government, who thinks they're better equipped to spend the people's money and choose their. Now let's turn to the slide behind me. This slide has data from where I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It shows how premiums, out-of-pocket maximums are significantly lower on employer-sponsored plans accompanied with tax-advantaged accounts. You can see that these premiums are roughly $77 and can be as high as $1,282 on an ACA plan. That's over $1,200 in savings per month. That means something for my constituents, especially in the area of persistent Biden inflation. And when you look at this, you have to look at this and say, we're not here to discredit the ACA. It's here to stay, and after the billions spent, Republicans and Democrats have a responsibility to come together and make it better. But frankly, I'm tired of the other side saying the free market healthcare just does not simply work. That's not true. This chart makes it clear that employer-sponsored care and tax-advantaged accounts deliver savings to enrollees. Lower premiums, lower deductibles, and lower out-of-pocket costs are all good things for Americans, regardless of what state you're in. Regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, these savings are good and should be looked at. So let's cut it out with the politics, and let's work together to make good policy, price transparency being one of those. I yield back.